I am really thrilled. I'm excited to be here. This man was at the forefront of the anti-war movement, and unfortunately, all his wisdom went unheeded, and we're where we're at today. But if anybody needs inspiration for what the hell we can do now with the peace movement, where the hell we can take it for now, this is the man with some answers. He's got a new book out called Waging Peace, The Art of War for the Anti-War Movement. So please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Scott Ritter!
Thank you very much. Speaking to the microphone here. You know, it's been an interesting ride over the last couple of years, being a registered Republican, a conservative, a former Marine, finding myself navigating troubled waters with a ship crewed by progressive liberals, and it's taken me in some very strange directions. Not least of which is giving a political presentation at a bar on comedy night, but it's my jokes will not be as good, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have humor injected into very serious topics, especially a topic such as just where the heck our country is headed towards. You know, where are we going collectively? And it's something we've been struggling for some time now. We focused on the issue of the Bush administration and the failures of policy that are easy to articulate. I mean, I could ask anybody in this room to articulate the failings of the Bush administration, and you'd still be going 40 minutes from now. And you'd still have several more pages to get through. But if I asked, God forbid I ask a Democrat or a progressive to start ticking off the failures of the Clinton administration. And suddenly there's some defensive people saying, well, wait a minute now. Clinton was okay. Clinton was a Democrat. Democrat was good. No, Clinton was an American president, a chief executive of the same system and the systemic failures that brought us George W. Bush. And this is something that I think we need to understand, that when we speak of the failures of the Bush administration, and there are many, it's simply symptomatic of a disease that has been infecting the United States of America for some time now. And this disease can be labeled and diagnosed in any number of different manners. One of the ways that I do it is I call it poor citizenship. Poor citizenship. Now, people say, well, that can't be that bad, can it? Well, it can when the document that defines who we are and what we are as a people, the gentleman before me talked about, you know, people talking about hating America. Well, define America as a Chevy. I love my country. I love Chevys. I love baseball, hot dogs, apple pies. It's all great. But I don't love the symbology. I love the reality, and the reality is the only thing that defines the United States of America is a document that begins, "We the people of the United States," the Constitution of the United States of America. There's nothing else out there. There is no other competition for anybody to articulate a stance other than that is inherently un-American, because you can't be American if you deviate from the Constitution that says this is who we are. If you deviate from this document, you are something else. You're not American. You might be able to enter a debate saying, well, that might be better than being an American. So be it. Let that be the debate, that you want to be better than Americans. I'm an American, and I'm proud of being an American. I love my country. And that's why when I say the disease, the malaise that infects this nation is poor citizenship, it's the worst insult I can hurl at you, the citizens of this United States of America. When it comes down to the preamble that says, "We the people of the United States," the Supreme Court has said those words mean that that document, our document, the document that defines who we are and what we are, doesn't belong to the president. It doesn't belong to Congress. It doesn't even belong to the Supreme Court. It belongs to we the people. It's our document. Therefore, it's incumbent upon us to defend it. It's incumbent upon us to actually know it. I mean, I've spoken at high school after high school and college after college across this country. And I ask a question at every presentation. How many of you have read the Constitution of the United States of America? And embarrassingly, only about 10% of the audience can raise their hand. I'm going to do it tonight, and please don't lie. How many of you have read the Constitution of the United States? You guys are doing much better than the average high school class. Now, those, put your hands back up. Pop quiz. How many of you are ready to take a pass-fail test where 80% is passed, where I could ask you any question about the Constitution and you will guarantee me that you will pass with an 80% or above grade? The hands go down. Let me ask you the following question. How in God's name can you defend the Constitution if you don't know the Constitution? How will you know that your Fourth Amendment freedoms are being infringed upon if you don't even know what the Fourth Amendment is? How will you know that the executive has deviated from the Article 6 of the Constitution when you don't know what Article 6 of the Constitution is? You can't defend that which you do not know. And America today does not know the Constitution. Therefore, the citizens cannot defend this country. And defending this country isn't about putting on a uniform. I did that for 12 years. And I'm proud to have served in the United States Marine Corps as an officer of Marines. I have gone to war for my country. I know what it means to wear the flag on your shoulder in harm's way, but that is not defending your country. That's fighting a war. Defending your country is active participation as a citizen, investing yourself into that which makes this country function. And sadly, one only has to take a look at the level of participation on national election days. How many Americans actually go to the poll and vote? And when we see those numbers slide down embarrassingly into the 36, 37 percentile, it tells you that the vast majority of Americans just don't give a damn, because if you don't vote on election day, you're saying it just doesn't matter anymore. You have capitulated. You have said, I don't count. We don't count. The people don't count. And then you have the audacity to whine when special interest fills the vacuum created by your abrogation of your responsibilities as a citizen. Now, why do I harp on the Constitution and citizenship so much? Because people are saying, where do we go from here? What do we do? I mean, it was ironic. You know, it's funny, you can look at my resume. Don't, it's pretty boring. But, you know, like we talk about weapons inspections. People go, wow, you're a weapons inspector. That's awesome stuff, man. Tell me about biological weapons. Wait, read the small print, guys. I'm not a biologist. Well, you know something about chemical weapons. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a nuclear physicist. I'm not a rocket scientist. I was a spy. That was my job. I was an intelligence officer. My job was to go in and gain access to data that people didn't want me to get, and I was pretty damn good at it. And in doing my job as a spy, as a practitioner of the dark arts, on behalf of the United Nations, I gained access to data the Iraqi government didn't want us to have about weapons of mass destruction. And because I coordinated the international effort to do this, I gained insight into the reality of the disarmament of Iraq that empowered me to speak out against the Bush administration, and prior to that, the Clinton administration's articulation of Iraq posing a threat to the United States in the form of massive stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction. I simply made the astute observation based on firsthand experience that what they say cannot be so. I'm not saying Saddam's a good guy. I'm not saying we should just roll over and play dead. I'm saying the case you're making doesn't hold water. And I went out and made this case, defended the truth, etc. And in doing so, got a reputation as somebody who confronted authority for the cause of truth. And invariably, though, I'd go to a presentation, a lecture. Again, I ask you to refer to my resume. Where does it say constitutional scholar? It doesn't. Where on my resume does it say social activist? It doesn't. I'm a spy. That's all I am. And yet I would stand in front of group after group after group, and during the question and answer period, the hand would come up. What do we do? Why are you asking me? I'm a spy. My job is to gather intelligence information, and you want me to suddenly come up with $1 million answer to the question? What do we do? Guys, look in the mirror and ask yourself that question, because that's the basic element of citizenship, to be engaged.